All right, everybody, welcome into the show. This is just a little default MLB The Show player creation screen. I haven't done anything. We're just gonna just leave it here. We'll put some hair on other than that. Put some hair on. Man, the graphics are so much better than last year. Just shout out once again. I've only made one MLB The Show video so far. I gotta get motivated to do this. I made 152 players last year. I'm just and that went up until February of this year. So I'm just kind of just still I don't want to say burnt out. I don't like that word, but it gotta take a while to get motivated because that was not easy. I was making an average of 13.4 players a month, if I remember that math correctly. Not easy, but we're gonna do it again. Anyways, this video is I guess I'll call it the constitutional crisis is here. This is a AP article. I hate seeing this fucking fat, ugly, stupid, hair plugged individual doing the power fist. He stole that from us just like he stole the word woke and so many other things from black culture. This fucking disgusting, subhuman piece of shit. All right. I'm sure that offended some people. I shit on your God. Are you sad now? Nobody cares. All right, this video is called "The Trump Administration Deports Hundreds of Migrants Even as the Judge Orders Their Removals to Be Stopped." So I call it a constitutional crisis because that's as pure of a constitutional crisis as you can get, ignoring a judge's order. So, yeah, who didn't see this coming? But here you go. Well, let's read this article out. I'll try to get through the. Let's see. Let me see if I can challenge myself. Let me get through the entire article and then give my thoughts. Let's see if we can do that. The Trump administration has transferred hundreds of migrants to El Salvador, even as a federal judge issued an order temporarily barring the deportations under an 18th century wartime declaration targeting Venezuelan gang members, officials said Sunday. Flights were in the air at the time of the ruling. U.S. District Judge James E. Boasberg issued an order Saturday blocking the deportations, but lawyers told him there were already two planes with migrants in the air, one headed for El Salvador, the other for Honduras. Boasberg verbally ordered the planes to be turned around, but they apparently were not, and he did not include the directive in his written order. Idiot. Oopsie, too late. Salvadorian President Nayib Bukele, a Trump ally, who agreed to house about 300 migrants for a year at the cost of $6 million in his country's prisons, wrote on the social media website X an article about Boasberg's ruling. That post was recirculated by the White House Communications Director Stephen Chung. Oh, it sounds like DEI. Sounds like a Chinese guy. It's DEI, right? Stephen Chung? That's like a white guy to me. I thought they only wanted the best. They had really high IQ. It's like a white man. Secretary of State Marco Rubio, who negotiated an earlier deal with Bukele to house immigrants, posted on the site, "We sent 250 alien enemy members of Trinidad, which El Salvador has agreed to hold in their very good jails at a fair price that will also save our taxpayer dollars." Very good jails. I like Steve Marco Rubio in a very good jail with no food and no fucking water. Steve Vladek, a professor at the Georgetown University Law Center, said that Boasberg's verbal directive to turn around the planes was not technically part of his order, but the Trump administration clearly violated the spirit of it. Idiot. This just incentivizes future courts to be hyper-specific in their order and not give the government any wiggle room, Vladek said. The immigrants were deported after Trump's declaration of the Alien Enemies Act of 1798, which has been used 3 times in U.S. history, which has been blocked, by the way. A federal judge blocked his order of the Alien Enemies Act. Let's see if he actually abides by it. The law invoked during World War I and II in the War of 1812 requires the president to declare the United States at war, giving him extraordinary powers to detain or remove foreigners who otherwise would have protections under immigration or criminal laws. I'm pretty sure that's what FDR used to do the Japanese internment camps. It was last used just by the detention of Japanese American civilians during World War II. There you go. The ACLU, which filed the lawsuit that led to Boasberg's temporary restraining order on deportation, said it was asking the government whether the removals to El Salvador were in defiance of the court. This morning, we asked the government to assure the court that its order was not violated, and we are waiting to hear, as well as trying to do our own investigation, ACLU's lead lawyer Lee Gellerant said in a statement Sunday. A Justice Department spokesperson on Sunday referred back to an earlier statement from Attorney General Pam Bondi blasting Boasberg's ruling and didn't immediately answer questions about whether the administration ignored the court order. Venezuela's government, in a statement Sunday, rejected the use of Trump's declaration of law, characterizing it as evocative of the darkest periods in human history, from slavery to the horrors of the Nazi concentration camps. Trinidad and Tobago originated in the infamously lawless prison in the central state of Veracruz. And by the way, you think sending all these gang members to a fucking prison that's already full of gang members isn't just going to create like super gang members? You're a goddamn idiot. In the central state of Aragua and accompanied an exodus of millions of Venezuelans, the overwhelming majority of whom were seeking better living conditions after their nation's economy came undone last decade. Trump seized on the gang during the campaign to paint misleading pictures of communities that he contended were taken over by what were actually a handful of lawbreakers. The Trump administration has not identified the immigrants deported, provided any evidence that they are in fact members of Trinidad Rock, because they're not, or that they committed any crimes. The U.S. probably didn't. It did also send two top members of the Salvadorian MS-13 gang to El Salvador who had been arrested in the United States. You know what? If they were all gang members, they would have said it. That just gives it away, dumb motherfucker. Video released by El Salvador's government Sunday showed men exiting airplanes into an airport tarmac lined by officers in riot gear. The men who had their hands and ankles shackled struggled to walk as officers pushed their heads down to have them bent down at the waist. Wow, real humane. These people are going straight to hell. Like that means I actually believe in God, read the whole Bible, and I pray every day. I give glory to God every day for the things that I'm able to do. You know, there truly is these people are going straight to hell. All the ICE members, all the DHS members. I hope you understand there's something after this, and you will be held accountable. There's a quote I like to use all the time. I don't know if it's a real quote, but I just started saying it. You probably heard it somewhere a long time ago. I don't take credit for it. You may evade justice in this life, but nobody can escape judgment, motherfucker. Everybody will be judged. And guess what? Hell is eternal. And once you're in hell, you can't negotiate your way out. The video also showed the men being transported to prison in a large convoy of buses guarded by police and military vehicles and at least one helicopter. The men were shown kneeling on the ground as their heads were shaved before they changed into the prison's all-white uniform, knee-length shorts, t-shirts, socks, and rubber clogs, and placed in cells. Immigrants were taken to the notorious CCOT facility, and the centerpiece of Bukele's push to pacify his once violence-racked country through the tough police measures and limits on basic rights. The Trump administration said the president actually signed the proclamation containing Trinidad and Tobago was invading the United States Friday night, but didn't announce it until Sunday afternoon. Saturday afternoon, sure he did. The immigration lawyers said that late Friday they noticed Venezuelans who otherwise couldn't be deported under the immigration law being moved to Texas on deportation flights. They began to file lawsuits to halt the transfers. I feel like this thing's never going to end. So I always give my little inputs because it feels like this article feels like I'm in hell. This article feels eternal. Is that what hell would be like for me having to read articles out loud for the rest of the time? Anyway, basically, any Venezuelan citizen in the U.S. may be removed on pretext of belonging to Trinidad and Tobago with no chance at defense. Adam Isaacson of the Washington Office for Latin America Human Rights Group warned on X. Litigation that led to the hold on deportations were filed on behalf of 5 Venezuelans held in Texas who lawyers said were concerned they'd been falsely accused of being members of the gang. Once the act is invoked, they warned Trump could simply declare anyone a Trinidad and Tobago member and remove them from the country. Jesus Christ. Boasberg barred those Venezuelan deportations Saturday morning when the suit was filed, but only broadened it to all people in federal custody who could be targeted by the act. Smart. I get to finally call this judge smart. Hope he actually wrote it in the ruling this time. Fucking asshole. The act, after his afternoon ruling, or hearing rather, he noted that the law has never been used outside of a congressionally declared war and that plaintiffs may successfully argue Trump exceeded his legal authority in invoking it. The bar on deportation stands for up to 14 days, and the immigrants will remain in federal custody during that time. Boasberger has scheduled a hearing Friday to hear additional arguments on the case. He said he had to act because the immigrants whose deportations may violate the Constitution deserve a chance to have their pleas heard in court. Once they're out of the country, Boasberg said there's little I could do. So yeah, I speaking of being a Christian and all that, I truly believe that history is already written and all that. We're just living it. That I truly believe with all my heart that everything happens for a reason. It becomes frustrating to remember that in the present time, in the interim while it's actually happening, because if it can make you feel hopeless and frustrated, downright angry. But everything happens for a reason. I guess there's a reason that God made this judge forget to write that ruling in his write that specific fact in his ruling about halting the flights, because this will just make judges, like he said, it'll make judges more, or what is his name? Videk said, like Valdek or whatever. He said this will make judges more vigilant in the future about actually writing that, so it's ironclad. Because if you didn't write it, you can't talk about the spirit of the law. Like that's it's just that it's not ironclad. It's just like I believed it should be a certain way. But hopefully, I'm sure federal judges like look at other federal rulings. It's probably what they do for fun. Just read federal rulings, and they'll be there by, oh, this guy fucked up, because they're colleagues. I'm sure they talking shit. They're like, yeah, we're gonna remember that this guy's a danger to the country. I'm sure if federal judges could speak with full honesty, which they're not allowed to do, is they're on the bench, and they would tell you that this guy's a danger and a threat to the country and our constitution and way of life and rule of law, and they're doing whatever they can to keep him under control. But yeah, mistakes will be made, especially with their incredible caseload right now. With this guy violating the Constitution literally every day. So yeah, mistakes will be made, but they'll be learned from in the future. And yeah, I just pray for these migrants that have already been deported out of the country, probably illegally, because you can't use this wartime law without congressional approval. So yeah, I don't know what's happening. Probably bad things, but yeah, like, I don't know, man. This guy's just pure evil. If you're still supporting him at this point, you're just that, and I want nothing to do with you. And you can leave hateful comments all you want, man. Nobody cares. It won't discourage me from making videos, because I have a higher calling in this world. And you call me retard or whatever. That's great. Like I use that word all the time. Doesn't offend me. Anyways, guys, that's it. Felt good to get at least one political story done today. Really dire, but awareness is the first step in fighting back. So yeah, now that I've done that, I'm gonna get on here and probably make a female player. We'll go in home run derby and have them go against each other. All right, see ya.